ruins of an entire civilization. The most spectacular thing you've ever seen. That's where I'll shoot my picture.
Will there be boobies?
Boobies?
Jigglies, jablongas, bazoomas. In my experience, people only go to these films to observe the undraped form of the native girls.
What are you, an idiot? You think they asked Emil if he would waste his time on nudie shots? No, they respected the filmmaker. They showed some class. Not that you'd know what that means, you cheap lowlife.
Alright, before the video starts today, I'd like to mention that I'm going to start doing giveaways. I get a lot of Blu-ray movies, and they come with digital codes, and I never use the digital codes. I just watch the Blu-rays on my TV. I don't need the codes for my PC or my phone. I don't watch movies like that. So I have a bunch of digital codes stacked up, and I want to start giving them away to you guys, my subscribers. So, few simple rules to go over in order to win the giveaway. Rule 1, you have to be subscribed to me. That's a given. Rule 2, you have to have a Twitter account, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to direct message you with the code. So if you don't have a Twitter account, it's easy to sign up for it. You only need an email address. And once you do that, follow me at LanternAlex. I'll also put a link to my Twitter in the description. And the final rule is that you can't win it twice in a row. So if you win it one week, you can't win it the next week. But you could win it the following week. So you could win it multiple times, but you can't win it twice in a row. That gives people a chance to win and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it for the rules, essentially. And by now you're probably wondering, well, how do I win it? Well, it's very simple. You just comment below this video. Any video where I have giveaway in the title, you'll comment below in that video. And whoever comment I like the most will get a heart next to it, which will notify you that I loved your post. And when you come back to the video, I'll have a response for you with a link to my Twitter account so we can direct message each other. And then I'll give you the digital code. Now, the comments don't have to be like 5 paragraphs long. It just has to be something relating to the video that I like. So that's it. Pretty simple. And if you can't direct message me for some reason, then tweet at me and say, hey, this is so-and-so from YouTube. Use your YouTube screen name so I can identify you, and then I will direct message you with the code. And that's pretty much it. Pretty simple, easy to win. If you don't have a Twitter, again, just sign up. It's real easy. And then if you get the digital code and you don't want Twitter anymore, you can delete your Twitter after you get your code from me. So, yep, there's that. Pretty easy, straightforward giveaway. And the first movie I'm going to be giving away this week is actually 3 movies. It's a 3-movie in 1 digital code, and it's the X-Men trilogy, X-Men 1, X-Men 2, and X-Men Last Stand. That's the giveaway this week. And in order to win that giveaway, once again, all you have to do is comment on this video relating to the video in some way. And if I like it, I'll give you a heart. You'll see it in your notifications. You'll come back, click on this video, click the link to my Twitter, direct message me, or tweet at me and telling me that you won with your YouTube username in the tweet, and you'll get your digital code. I'm going to make the window 72 hours. So when I post this video, there'll be exactly a 72-hour window. That's when you'll leave your comment. And after 72 hours, I'll make my selection and let you know who won. And then next week, around the same time, I'll do another giveaway. You'll know what the giveaways are because I'll put giveaway in the title of the video somewhere. So you'll know which videos are the giveaway videos, and you'll have 72 hours to leave your comment from the time I post the video. So, yeah, that's it for now. Let's get on to what I want to talk about, and that's how Dark Phoenix got Justice Leagued. Now, as everybody might have seen through various articles and YouTube videos, the big headline going around is that Disney sabotaged Dark Phoenix because Disney is planning to reboot the X-Men in the MCU, and they didn't want to continue with this X-Men franchise from Fox. So they had the makers of Dark Phoenix rework the last third of the film, reshoot, so that the series would end. And they didn't care how it came out as long as it ended. Now, this makes a lot of sense when you actually watch the Dark Phoenix movie, because it really just ends abruptly, with all the characters doing like their whole retirement thing and Magneto playing chess with Professor Xavier at the end. It all gets wrapped up really quickly, and we've also learned that Dark Phoenix was meant to be 2 movies originally. So I'm sure everybody here is already getting flashbacks to Justice League. How Justice League was meant to be 2 films, and it got shaved down to 1 film, and then it got completely reshot to change the movie to end Zack Snyder's run on the DC universe, right? And now the same thing has happened to the X-Men universe at Fox. And I watched Dark Phoenix again. There's some good moments in the film. You can see the film does have potential to be something more, but it got cut down. And we also know that there was a screen test for Dark Phoenix just a few months ago where people saw an extended version of this very film. And there's rumors going around that they might release that extended cut. But if it, it ends the movie on an open ending, they're not going to release that extended cut, right? Because Disney wants this franchise to end so they can reboot it. And when you watch Dark Phoenix, it really feels like a movie that's the start of something else. It doesn't feel like the ending of anything. I don't think Phoenix was originally going to die in this film. She was probably going to live on to the part 2, and then they were going to save her and stuff, and we were going to get another X-Men movie after that, and it was just going to keep going. But then Disney bought Fox, and all that ended, right? But there are striking similarities between Justice League and Dark Phoenix. Number 1 being the high production budget. With Justice League, the reshoots added an extra $100 million onto the film. And with Dark Phoenix, the estimated budget is over $200 million. And when you watch the film, you gotta wonder to yourself, where did the $200 million go? Well, most of it probably went to reshoots to rework the last third of the film. So instead of getting like an epic movie that was gonna lead into a second part, they cut it short and they just pushed the movie out because they gotta get it out of the way so they can go reboot and start a new X-Men universe in the MCU. A lot like how Justice League, Warner Brothers just wanted to push it out, get it out of the way so they can reshape their DC universe in a new direction. But there's no doubt there's a better version of Justice League. Zack Snyder confirms he has different cuts of it, and they're all probably a lot better. If you've ever watched a Zack Snyder director's cut, they're always vastly better than the theatrical cut. But could the same thing be said about Dark Phoenix? I think it's a possibility that there is a better cut of Dark Phoenix. It wouldn't be the first time something like this happened, where they got rid of a superior cut of the film because it didn't fit the studio needs or studio mandates. So they go with the inferior version of the film just to end the franchise, right? And yeah, if you added an extra 22 minutes onto Dark Phoenix, an extra half hour, that would probably help the film a lot. I mean, we saw with Batman vs. Superman how much of a difference a half hour can make to a movie. It could drastically change the pacing, the tone, everything. But we really don't know how much better it would have been. Simon Kinberg was the director and writer of the movie. He was the writer on a bunch of other X-Men movies, including Days of Future Past. But he was also involved with, Elektra, the first Fantastic Four movie. The guy doesn't have the greatest track record. And Dark Phoenix was like his first directing gig that he got. And now he's probably not going to get any more after that. But as we're coming to find out, it's probably not his fault. He was forced to make these changes, and he didn't get to make the movie that he wanted to make. He wanted to make a 2-part epic Dark Phoenix movie that made up for X-Men 3: The Last Stand, another movie that he was involved with. But at this point, we're never going to get a second part to Dark Phoenix. They never made anything for that. But it's still a possibility that we can get an extended version of Dark Phoenix that, helps the movie out a little bit. The movie suffers from a lot of problems, but there are some good things to build off of. And with a good editor, I think, you could have a decent movie here with Dark Phoenix. And yeah, the problems with Dark Phoenix are glaring. The bad guy really, is quite shit. The film should have just been solely focused on Phoenix. That's it. She should have been the main bad guy. You shouldn't have had Jessica Chastain with this Skrull-like character that nobody cares about. You should have just cut that out entirely. That should have even been in the film. Hans Zimmer, while the music was a nice listen, it doesn't fit X-Men. He got rid of every X-Men theme, so the movie suffers from that. It doesn't feel like an X-Men film. And Hans Zimmer is partly to blame for that. Yeah, music sounds good, but why shit can all these great X-Men themes that you've already had that have been around for the whole series? Like, why go a completely new direction with the music. It pulls you out of the film, and it makes the movie feel a little bit more generic than it should be. And there's also, bad blocking in the movie, and that's partly because of the inexperience from the director. You'll see in Dark Phoenix, characters are just standing around in a circle, for some scenes. And it's just so weird. Like, it doesn't feel natural at all. And you'll have great moments that are instantly followed by head-scratching moments. Like when they return from space and Raven is in her Mystique makeup, greeting all the people of Earth, right? She's on the newsreel with her Mystique makeup. And then she gets to the mutant school and she takes her makeup off. She takes her Mystique look off when she gets to the school, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And you'll also have parts in Dark Phoenix where they're in the woods listening to some really weird music that is just pure cringe. And you have to wonder why this scene was ever in the movie, So, a lot of problems. And it's tough to see what the reshoots are, really. And that's where it kind of differs from Justice League, because in Justice League, we can clearly tell what's Whedon and what's Zack Snyder. Ben Affleck's face changes, The lighting changes. But in Dark Phoenix, it all looks pretty uniform. Everything looks like it was shot by the same person, which it probably was. I think Simon Kinberg did shoot the reshoots. But there's also rumors going around that Bryan Singer, Ghost, directed the reshoots, which I'm not buying for a second because Bryan Singer is probably laying low right now because of all the personal shit he's been dealing with. But yeah, a lot of similarities to Justice League. I see a lot of people posting, release the Kinberg cut, release the Phoenix cut, release the Snyder cut. But with Dark Phoenix, it's definitely a lot less likely that we're going to see a director's cut of that movie ever, because Disney is in total reboot mode with X-Men right now. They're going to work them into the MCU franchise, and this X-Men universe that's lasted for almost 20 years is going to be gone. Which sucks because I've enjoyed all these movies to some extent. Even Dark Phoenix, I saw it for a second time. And I enjoyed it a little bit more, but not nearly as much as the other X-Men films. Like, I like X-Men Apocalypse way more than Dark Phoenix. And when you watch movies like X-Men Days of Future Past, you see how great this franchise can be. And now it's going to be a watered down Disney crap. So I look forward to that. But yeah, super interesting. I just wanted to talk about how Dark Phoenix got Justice Leagued, is what I'm dubbing it, is what I'm calling it. Anytime this happens with a movie where the last half of the movie's reshot because of some studio reasons, because they want to go a different direction, or they want to reboot, or they want to do something else, and they really don't care about the quality, they just care about getting the movie out and out of the way so they can move on to something else. Anytime that happens, we're going to call it Justice Leagued. And we're going to add it to a list of director's cuts that need to be released. But yeah, what do you think about that? Comment below, let me know. And don't forget, this is a giveaway video, so keep an eye out and see if you get a heart by me. So, yep, that's it for now. I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.
The ruins of an entire civilization. The most spectacular thing you've ever seen. That's where I'll shoot my picture.
Will there be boobies?
Boobies?
Jiggly's, Jablongas, Bazoomas. In my experience, people only go to these films to observe the undraped form of the native girls.
What are you, an idiot? You think they asked Emil if he would waste his time on nudie shots? No, they respected the filmmaker. They showed some class. Not that you'd know what that means, you cheap lowlife.